So, Anne, how did your meeting with Mr. Stevens and the Montex representative go?
Quite well. Actually, it was very interesting.
Did they come to any agreement?
Well, for the moment, Montrax is going to print 3,000 copies of our next series of cookbooks. Mr. Stevens wants to give them a trial run and see how they work. If they meet their deadlines and price competitively, he'll sign on for larger deals in the future.
Well, we're hoping to optimize our work and drive down costs a little. And the publishing market is in a deep crisis. Readership is dropping rapidly, which is driving down sales. At the same time, production costs are increasing because of foreign rights acquisition as well as distribution costs.
As a matter of fact, I haven't bought many books recently. Tell me, Rachel, does this crisis also affect us here at Pilgrim?
Certainly. The negative trends of the market are felt throughout the sector, beginning with those who work in it. In any case, I'm optimistic, and I'm sure this is just a passing crisis, and that the publishing sector will soon recover.
That's probably what Gary wanted to talk to me about this morning. I saw him, and he said that he had something very important to tell me.
Uh-huh.
What? Why are you making that face?
No, it's nothing, Anne. It's just that I don't trust Gary. He's a Latin lover and full of himself. He chases all of the pretty girls around here, and you are just his latest victim.
Look, Rachel, I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. I only have a working relationship with Gary, and that's how it's going to stay.
Sorry, Anne. I certainly didn't mean to offend you. I'm quite aware that you are an intelligent young woman who can keep men like Gary at a distance. In any case, I just wanted to warn you. I'm sure you'll agree with me once you get to know him.
Right. Anne, are you ready for your next telephone call?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you need to get in touch with Mr. Bradford. He's a great author who has worked with us for years. He's quite friendly, and he's quite a wizard at the stove. He opened a restaurant a few years ago, but he sold it to move on to writing cookbooks. He knows 1,000 tricks in the kitchen, and he can make anything taste great, even tomato soup.
Oh, come on, stop it, Gary. I've only had half a sandwich today, and hearing about tasty treats is driving me crazy.
I know. Speaking of eating, when are we going to have dinner together?
You don't know when to quit, do you? Enough joking around. Well, let me give the kitchen superman a call.
Okay, but don't forget to pay him compliments. This guy just eats them up.
Hello, good morning. This is Anne Baxter from Pilgrim Publishing. Please may I speak to Mr. Bradford? Oh, Mrs. Bradford, hello. I've heard a lot about your husband. He's quite the chef, isn't he? Yes, I also enjoy cooking, but I'm not in the same league, of course. Well, I'm calling to propose a new cookbook series to Mr. Bradford. We're going to be taking it to press soon. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, I'll hold. Good morning, Mr. Bradford. Hello, this is Anne Baxter from Pilgrim Publishing. First of all, congratulations. You're a legend around here. But as I was telling your wife, I'm calling to see if you're interested in participating in a new cookbook series that Yes. Yes, I know that you've always spoken to Gary Reynolds, but I'm the new colleague who's been assigned to this project. I beg your pardon? Well, excuse me, Mr. Bradford, but I don't understand why you consider Mr. Reynolds to be more competent than myself. In any case, if you'd like to speak to him, hold on a moment. I'll put you through.
Hey, Mark. How are you? Yeah, I think you upset Anne, our new intern. Oh, she's a fantastic colleague, diligent and hard-working. Yeah, let's set up a meeting so you can meet her. You'll be very impressed. She's also a great cook. In the meantime, I'll send you a detailed outline of the project. Okay, and we'll see each other Tuesday at 10. Okay, right. Bye, Mark.
Well, what a pleasant person he is.
Oh, come on, Anne. Don't let him get to you. Mr. Bradford is just a little shy with those he doesn't know. But you'll see. He's quite a lot of fun once you've met him. Why don't we take a short break?
How about a little fun on the telephone? I need to relax and have a good laugh.
Okay. But who should we call?
I know. Let's call my flatmate Alice. She's always looking for new boyfriends, and you could pretend to be a friend of Jack's, the other flatmate, saying that you saw a picture of her and that you'd love to meet her.
Okay, but she isn't going to get angry with me, is she?
Oh, no, we'll tell her it was just a joke.
Hello?
Is that Alice?
This is Gary. And I'm calling because,
Well, I'm a little shy.
and I'm a friend of Jack's, and yesterday he showed me a picture of you. And, well, I think you're pretty cute.
Hello? Could you speak up? The line is terrible.
Yes, I'm also having problems. This line must be congested. My name is Gary, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
What? Who are you?
I'm a friend of Jack's, and yesterday I saw...
A picture of you.
How could that be? What picture?
Don't raise your voice with me.
Me, Alice.
In the picture, there were 3 people. One was Jack, one was an ugly girl, and then a very beautiful lady. And
Jack told me it was you.
hold on, while I put you through to a friend of mine who doesn't agree with me about the ugly girl.
Hello? Who's speaking?
This is Alice, and I urgently need to speak with the other guy. I think his name is Gary.
I'm afraid I can't hear you. Could you speak up?
I said I urgently need to speak with Gary.
Oh, I'm afraid Gary's very busy at the moment. If you'd like an appointment, I can fit you in the beginning of next month.
What? You are joking, aren't you? I told you I need to speak with him immediately.
Alice!
It's Anne.
It's a joke! And you fell for it completely.
Anne, you scared the hell out of me. What a stupid joke.
Okay, maybe it was a stupid joke, but you bought it hook, line and sinker.
Hi, Anne. Have you got a moment? I just have to show you a few things.
Alice, how many times have I told you to call before you come and visit me at the office? If my boss finds out, I'll be in trouble.
Oh, yes, I know. You're right. I'm sorry. Anyway, you are on your coffee break, and I just need some advice. I'm going out with Philip tonight. You know, the handsome guy I met at the library last week.
Oh,
I told you about him, didn't I?
I don't know, Alice. I've lost count. Every week there's a different guy. And what's so important about him that you couldn't wait to see me?
What if I wear this tonight?
It's nice. Red suits you.
Really? But if I wear this, I'll have to find the right black shawl. By the way, can you lend me the one you bought last Saturday?
Alice, it's brand new. I haven't even worn it yet.
Come on, Anne. I told you that this date is really important to me. Okay. What if I wore this one?
That's pretty too.
Yes, but if I wear this one, it would go better with your blue hat. Could you lend it to me?
Oh.
Please, Anne.
Oh, Alice, no, not that one. It was a present from my sister. I'm very attached to it.
Oh, please, Anne. Come on, help me, please.
Okay, it's impossible to talk you out of anything anyway. But if I'd known you were going to borrow my entire wardrobe, I would have immediately told you I was very busy.
Thanks, Anne. You're the best.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going now. By the way, what would you say if I told you I had broken your camera?
You've done what?
Oh, come on, Anne. I'm joking. Oh, I think work is making you just a little bit too nervous. Bye.
Yes, to be honest, I am a bit worried. Profits are down 8% over the last few months. And just yesterday, I read an article in Media World that confirmed my suspicions. Forecasts for the publishing market are quite pessimistic. And the general feeling is that things are going to continue to go downhill based on current trends. The next 5 years could see a further drop of 20%. If we leave out bestsellers and fiction, then the entire publishing market has taken a direct hit. Or, better, is in a downward spiral.
But what about sales?
For the moment, they're stationary, but we won't be able to improve them. In fact, we'll have to stop publication of our encyclopedias of history and art history, with awful consequences for those working on these projects.
Are you saying that we'll have to lay people off?
No, not for the moment. But if things continue like they are, we will have to let some of our people go.
Oh my God. There must be something we can do to keep from cutting staff.
I'm meeting with Mr. Stevens this afternoon to discuss the situation. We're going to focus on new objectives for the company in both marketing and sales. Perhaps we will develop a new line of economic paperbacks, which might help sales.
But the other publishers are already doing that successfully. I think we'll need to develop new products to encourage new market opportunities.
Well said, Billy. I've already got an idea to suggest. It won't resolve all of our problems, but it could bring about some interesting developments.
And what might this new idea be?
Anne!
Well,
Anne, are you in there? Hey, you! I'm looking for my friend Anne. Is she with you? Anne! Surprise!
Anne, hello. Come back to Earth. Someone's looking for you.
Alice, what are you doing here?
Well, I came to see where you work, Anne. Could you give me a tour? So, these are your colleagues. Oh. What long faces. Are you always like this? We need a little fun to lighten things up in here. Why don't you invite them to the party this evening?
No, really. I don't think, well, today's really not a good time to be talking about parties. Why don't you come back some other time? And perhaps warn me in advance, perhaps. Bye-bye, Alice. Yes, Mr. Jones. The collection is divided into thematic volumes. Your volume will be the first, dealing with starters. That's right. Yes, recipes should be written clearly and precisely. Well, I'm not sure I agree with you there. ingredients should be written separately, directly under the title of each dish. Okay, I'll expect your first instalment next week then. All right, goodbye, Mr. Jones. Goodbye. Excuse me, Gary. Has Mr. Bradford got in touch yet? Gary? Hello? I asked you a question. Could you answer, please?
What's up, Anne? I'm sorry, I'm writing the contracts to send out to the authors.
Have you spoken to Mr. Bradford yet?
No. Could you give him a call? I'm really very busy at the moment.
Okay. Could you at least tell me where you are with him? Has he sent us the materials? Gary? Hello, Gary?
What?
Please, can you tell me what is so entertaining about drawing up contracts?
Why?
Because you're glued to your computer and you keep laughing like a fool.
I'm just in a good mood today.
Come on, Gary. I'm not stupid. What are you doing?
Okay, you've caught me out. I'm chatting. It's great fun. Would you like to give it a try?
No, thank you very much. And you shouldn't be chatting at work anyway. Mr. Stevens might notice.
Now, why would he? If he walks in the door, I'll just close the window and continue typing up the contracts. Anne, relax. Let's chat a bit together.
No, I'm afraid I can't. Somebody needs to work around here. Now, could you explain how I should proceed with this? You spoke to Mr. Bradford, so could you give me some details on your agreement?
Yes, he should have sent some materials in 2 days ago, but we still haven't received anything yet. Give him a call and see where he's at with those.
Hello, Mr. Bradford. This is Anne Baxter from Pilgrim Publishing. Hello. We are still waiting for the materials you should have sent us 2 days ago. I just wanted to know if you were having problem. Well, what does the index have to do with it? I'm afraid I don't understand. No, it's just I wasn't aware that... No, I don't think... What, could you just hold on a second?
Hey, Mark, this is Gary. No, don't worry. Everything's just fine. Anne just didn't know. Have you finished the index then? Okay, great. We'll expect your email then. Okay. Bye, Mark.
I hate you, Gary. If you spent a little time filling me in instead of chatting on your computer, I might just know what's going on around here.
What?
Ooh!
I've called you in today to bring you up to speed on our new cookbook series. Anne's going to take notes, from which we'll then develop a detailed outline of the work in progress, and then set the deadlines. So, Gary, which authors have we contacted?
We've got in touch with Jones, Bradford, Smith, Fox, and Grant. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to contact Tchaikovsky. I think he's abroad at the moment.
What? Sorry. Could you spell that for me, please, Gary?
Certainly. Chakoswski. He's one of our Russian collaborators.
Couldn't we get in touch with Parker in his place? What do you think? He's worked with us in the past.
It's a good idea. Unfortunately, I haven't got his number.
I think I have it in my old appointment book. Let me just make a note of that so I don't forget. What's the news on the contribution so far? Have the authors started sending in material?
Yes, and I've already begun editing the first batch.
Excellent, Anne. You'll also have to take care of researching the images. When you've got those, you can send them along to the graphics department for page insertion. Let's move on to the typography. Rachel, have you seen the first batch of proofs we got from Montex today?
Yes, Mr. Stevens. Great work, I must say. It seems to me that they've done an excellent job.
Good. So it looks like we can trust them with this edition. Let's get a bid in immediately. Take note of that, Rachel.
Yes, Mr. Stevens. I'll call them as soon as we finish this meeting.
One last thing. We haven't found a title for this series. Do you have any ideas? Come on. Use your imagination. I want something original. Something catchy. Nothing? Okay, then that's your first task. Do some brainstorming to come up with some ideas, and then we'll go through them together. Why the long faces? There's nothing to worry about. You're a great team. I'm sure you'll think of something interesting. Okay?
Gary, did you get that email problem fixed?
Yes, I did. I set up a new account for you. You only have to create a new username and password.
How do I do that? I'm hopeless with computers.
I know you are. In fact, by now I've lost all hope with you. But you really do need to try to learn. I mean, email and internet are indispensable in this day and age.
I know, Gary. You don't ever get tired of repeating that. I must admit, I'm a Luddite. How I miss the days when you wrote letters by hand and visited the library to do research. Everything's changed now. I think I've done well to learn to send and receive emails.
Speaking of emails, I noticed what you were writing to the authors, and if you'll permit me, Rachel, your emails are much too stuffy and formal. They don't fit in at all with internet jargon.
What are you saying?
I'll give you an example. When you start off an email, you use, "We'd like to inform you that." It's quite old-fashioned, you know? It's better to write, "Did you know that?" Or another example. When you need to make an excuse, you begin, "We regret to inform you that." It's much better to use something like, "Unfortunately, we can't." It's less formal, but at the same time, more professional. Email needs to be kept simple and to the point. Use abbreviations as often as possible and keep phrases short. If you're writing to someone you know well, you can even add an emoticon. It's always a pleasure to get one.
An emoticon? What the devil is that?
You're so old school, Rachel. Emoticons are those little faces that you can make using keyboard characters that show how you're feeling at the time.
Okay, Professor. I'll try to simplify and use a more colloquial tone when writing. Perhaps I'll even put in a smiley.
It's not difficult. You'll see. Just let the magic of the internet transport you. But remember to use netiquette.
You're talking like a computer manual. What is netiquette?
It's good manners on the internet. It's the rules of the road, of the network. Rachel. You really do need to get some practice, don't you? I've got an idea. Why don't you let me sign you up for a forum? That way you can learn the rules of the road and the lingo as you surf. Speaking of which, do you like music?
Huh? Music? Yes, very much so.
Great. Then I'll add podcasting sites to your favorites. So you can download podcasts and maybe even burn them to disk. And
Stop! Gary, oh, you're driving me crazy. I don't understand a word. Besides email, I have no desire to learn any of it. None of it. Do you understand?
Would you like something to eat? Okay, we have long E. Would you like something to eat? I don't think. Okay? I can eat anything. Okay? I don't think I can eat anything. Just put your tongue between your teeth in the syllable or the word that have the th sound. Some people, like, they are not really familiar with this sound. They just think that anything or anything. Okay, the position is not correct. Okay, anything. I don't think I can eat anything. Thank you. Thank you. Why? Are you okay? I can't open. This is O. Open my mouth. My teeth hurt. My teeth hurt. Who are over there? Who are over there? They, this is A. They are my father and mother. They are my father and mother. Are they playing volleyball? This is vol, and this is ball. Volleyball with their dog. This is air. Their dog. Are they playing volleyball with their dog? Yes. Look, they all breathe heavily. Yes, look, they all, this is or, okay? Or, this is long or. They all breathe heavily. There are a lot of mountains in my country. There are a lot of mountains in my country. You can say there are, or you can link them together. There are a lot of mountains in my country. See, mountains in. There are a lot of mountains in my country. Number 2, they, remember th, they bought that house, although it was old. Although it was old, that means like, I know that the house was old. It's not really new anymore, but I still decided to buy it. Okay, they bought that house, although it was old. They bought that house, although it was old. Link them together. They bought that house although it was old. Number 3, our cousin and her spouse. Spouse, that means your husband or your wife. Spouse are accountants. Our cousin and her spouse are accountants. Or you can link spouse. Okay, it's okay. Our cousin and her spouse are accountants. Number 4, we have found enough people for the project. We have found enough people for the project. Found, that means find. We have found enough people for the project. That means we has found as many people as we need for the project. Okay. And number 5, I would buy a blouse and 2 pairs of trousers. Trousers, that mean pants, okay? The long one. I would buy a blouse and 2 pairs of trousers. One more time, there are a lot of mountains in my country. They bought that house although it was old. Our cousin and her spouse are accountants. We have found enough people for the project. And number 5, I would buy a blouse and 2 pairs of trousers. For the p sound first. Are you going to the supermarket? Are you going to the supermarket? Yes, I want to buy some pears, apples, and potatoes. Yes, I want to buy some pears, apples and potatoes. Can you get me a cup and an envelope? Can you get me a cup and an envelope? Sure, sure, no problem, no problem. Next, the bird sound. I'm going to the library. Don't forget library, to borrow some books. I'm going to the library to borrow some books. How do you get there? How do you get there? I will or I'll take a cab. I'll take a cab. That means I'll take a taxi. Remember to get some crab when you come back. Remember to get some crab when you come back.